Hi, everyone. I'm Stacy Heisman with GI Jobs Magazine, and today I have a very special guest. He's coming from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. His name is Christopher Luckowski. Hi, Christopher.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. I wanted just to quickly introduce you and maybe give us a little bit of your stats of who you are and where you're located, and give us what branch did you serve and how long did you serve?
Sure. My name is Christopher Luckowski. I was a staff sergeant in the United States Air Force, and I served from 1994 to 2000. And I was an aircraft loadmaster when I finished my career on C-130s.
Okay, so that's a really cool job, by the way.
Thank you.
That's actually one of the most important jobs out there in the Air Force, in my opinion. But my family's Air Force as well, so I know exactly what that job entails. So, and you did that for quite a long time. And how long were you in then? That was
I was in there. I was in the service for 6 years.
6 years. Okay, so reading through a little bit about your background, you actually currently work for Comcast. Tell us a little bit about what you do for Comcast.
Sure. I was hired in 2016 with Comcast, and I sought this company because of the benefits they had. And
Okay.
that was one thing that was very important to me and my family. And I also knew through doing research on the company that they were a very military friendly community and corporation. And they were looking to hire over 10,000 military veterans at the time that I was hired. That was an initiative of the company. So I was part of that and a direct result. So I am a senior store manager with Comcast. So I run your local Xfinity stores for our products, video, internet, home phone, mobile, and home security.
That's impressive, to be honest with you. What you just said alone is the fact that they were going to hire over 10,000 people, and you belong to a military network within the Comcast. Is that right? Did I read that right?
That is correct. I'm in my second year of being a chair lead for membership and operations for what's called VetNet, which is the Veterans Network Resource Group for Comcast. We have that throughout the country as well as other employee resource groups. But the Veterans group here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the Freedom Region is the one that I run for membership and operations.
I mean, I think that's one of the cool features of being employed by such a large company, that they have this amazing network that they can provide in-house. I think that's something that's super valuable for veterans out there. I love that. But this wasn't your first job out of the Air Force. You had a whole second career,
That's
which I
correct.
think is important for veterans to know, that life, you can have multiple careers after you leave the Air Force. Tell us about your first job out of the Air Force.
Sure. So my first job coming out of the Air Force, I took advantage of the Montgomery GI Bill, and I went to the Montgomery County Community College and used my GI Bill to attend the Municipal Police Academy for the state of Pennsylvania. Once I graduated the Municipal Police Academy, I put in for jobs in various departments local to my residence here in Pennsylvania, and I was hired with the Haverford Township Police Department back in 2000. And I did 10 years with them.
10 years. Okay, so there's a bit of a jump between being a police officer to working for Comcast. So tell us what made you get out and what made you look for this second job, and how, more importantly, how the military kind of helped you with their
Sure.
experience doing both.
Yeah, so what led me to get out of the line of work for police force was I had sustained 2 injuries on the job, and I was a motor cop at the time. My last years of service, 7 of those, I was a motor cop. And unfortunately, I had sustained an injury to my shoulder and also to my back. So at that point, I had to make a decision for myself and my family. I have loved being a police officer. There's nothing I love more than that, second only to being in the military and flying for the Air Force. But again, transitioning into the Comcast was a great choice for me and the family. And like I said previously, the benefits alone was instrumental for me as I had injuries in my health and everything else. I wanted to make sure I was taken care of.
Well, actually, that sounds like a fantastic way to transition, a really smart way to look at things that are important to you. And the fact that Comcast is such a large company with that veteran network, I'm sure was really helpful to you as
Yep,
well. And
absolutely.
What was kind of, I'm just wondering, what was kind of what was the hardest part about transitioning? What were, things that kept you up at night? What were those things?
Sure. One of the things that kept me up when I was transitioning out of the service, we didn't have the resources at that time that servicemen and women have today. There's a lot of focus on people that are separating today, such as your GI magazine, all these different resources that veterans have that they can help them, go to tech school, find training, seek college if that's the path they want to head down to get into the career field that they want. So when I left and retired from the military, that was not in place. You literally got your DD 214, your separation paperwork, and either a plane ticket or a bus ticket back to where your home station was, where you originally signed up, if that's where you wanted to return to. And it was scary. I didn't have a huge family at the time, but still not having interviews lined up or even a sense of where I wanted to go with my life beyond that. So I just encourage people that are in today that if they are doing their job and doing it well, that doesn't have to be the career field they go into when they exit the military. But I would encourage them to do interviews, Zoom interviews, Skype interviews, whatever it may be, and potentially have a job lined up before they leave so that their monthly expenses can be met and there's no time period that's left uncovered benefits wise for themselves or their children. So that will greatly reduce their stress.
And I tell you what, you've actually just segued into the question I was going to ask, which is what would you recommend to people out there right now who are looking for a job? But since you preempted this a little bit, when it sounds like you're in management, when you have the opportunity to hire someone that's a veteran, I know this is kind of a little off cue, but if you have an opportunity to hire, what are you looking for? What are you looking for as a boss?
Absolutely. I have no concerns whatsoever. If I'm looking at somebody's resume and I see that they were honorably discharged from the service, regardless if they did 2 years, 4 years, or they finished their full 20, those individuals have core values instilled in them. And most veterans that I am familiar with still have those core values to this day, and they live by them. They're not just words to us. So if I'm hiring somebody and it's a choice and they're a veteran and they have the same skill sets as other applicants, I would probably lean towards the veteran because I have no question they will show up for work on time. They will do absolutely. Most of them tend to be leaders from inside and they follow direction well and can be trained to do anything.
You know what? I think that's a wonderful note to leave on, because I think that says everything we need to know. You've covered the transition out and also the management side, and I appreciate you kind of going off the cuff and talking to me about that. But I think that was important for our listeners out there to hear. So Thank you very much. Chris Luckowski over from Comcast over just the state above me. I'm in Northern Virginia and he's in Pennsylvania. So thank you so much for spending the time with me today. I think what you said was really important and valuable. And I think you relate to our listeners even more because you've had multiple careers after you got out. And I think it just shows that your life just after the service just continues and you continue to grow and evolve. And you take your leadership and your military experience with you, right?
That is correct. And I would like to just follow up with that. If there's any veterans out there that have exited the service and they're looking for a great company, I can tell you that Comcast is definitely a good choice, regardless of the career field. It's a big family. It's an extended family. There are a lot of military people that work for our company, and we have really good people in place that run our military affairs for Comcast. So you couldn't find a better place.
Well, I think you've said it best. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And thank you to Comcast for giving you an opportunity to talk with us. We really appreciate that as well. So,
absolutely.
All right, everyone, from GI Jobs Magazine, Stacey Heisman signing off with our good friend, Chris Luckowski over at Comcast. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.